Welcome back to day 7 of the Global Wellness Challenge. We are so grateful to be here with you. Thank you so much for dialing in wherever you are in the world. And today is all about relationships and communication. If you're new to this conversation, then welcome. We've been having an amazing journey so far. We're up to day 7 of 10 days, immersing ourselves in mental health conversations, reducing stigma, empowering ourselves with incredible tools and techniques, incredible speakers, live sessions, workshops, meditations, workouts, the whole lot. So thank you for being here. It's an absolute pleasure. We've got an incredible community that's behind this. So come and join the Facebook group if you haven't already, to be supported, inspired, motivated. We have over 1,500 health professionals, doctors, psychologists, everybody there supporting this journey with you. So welcome to today, day 7. So jumping into the conversation from this morning, in case you missed it, we're just going to do a quick recap of the things that we covered. And the first step to today in relationships and communications is realizing first that you're unique, second that others are unique also. They're quite different to you. So others are different to you. Sounds very simple. We forget it almost all the time. So we walk around saying what we say, thinking what we think, and just communicating how we communicate, and that's all we do. We don't ever stop to think that other people listen differently to us. Other people respond differently to us. Other people react differently to us. Other people feel differently to us. And so just today, more than any other day right now where we're focusing on relationships and communications, know that others are different. Others may see the same situation differently to you. Others may need something different out of a communication than what you do or than how you communicate. Others may feel and react differently to you, even if it's the same circumstance and you're there next to them having the same experience. So this is just the first thing. Be aware that others are different and have that in your awareness and be mindful of that today, because often we just operate on autopilot. We don't ever think about that. And so when you share something with someone today, when you communicate with someone today, just stop to think, are they going to be hearing that in the way that I'm communicating it? Because I would just communicate it as if I'm expecting me to listen to it, but maybe they're different. So just be aware of that today and see what happens. That's step 2. So know that stress changes people. So when you're stressed or they're stressed, everybody's different again. So the way that you see a situation is different when you're stressed. You probably know if you're cruisy and everything's calm and collected, you're a much more casual person and go about life in a much more chill way. If you're stressed, you might be a lot more short or intolerant to people. And that also happens with the way that you communicate to others. That changes too. You might be more direct or more rude or more to the point or more blunt. And sometimes that isn't really nice for other people to hear in that way. So you also, the way you receive communication is different. You're less tolerant. You don't hear things as much. You tend to just hear what you want to hear. So these are all really interesting things. These are all scientific facts and really fascinating to see how we change when we're stressed. Okay, so just step 2, know that you're different as well when you're stressed. And so step 3 was just around preparing to communicate and actually communicating well. So that's our challenge for today. I hope you've been able to achieve this in some way. And we set our task to say, go and try and find another health type and communicate in a way that's going to resonate with them. So rather than you just saying what you say or doing what you do all the time, why don't you see if you can say something or do something in the way that another person would like to receive it? Okay, we talk about this concept to make it simple, love languages. Everyone's got a different love language. And so you've got to be understanding that yours might be different to somebody else's. And you've got to kind of find this connection point there. So that's what we're doing today. So if you've got an activator, try and be short and action oriented. Try and be authentic. Allow them to express themselves and acknowledge it. Okay, so these are our big things. I won't go into all the details of the science behind this because we did this morning. So please watch the replay if you want to. But it's really fascinating information. And it's just so obvious how different people are when they communicate. If you're a diplomat, provide notice and pre-reading, or let them know what's coming, explain the meaningfulness of the communication, and allow them time to digest the information. Again, it's so important for diplomats. This is all exciting science behind this. Crusaders, explain the context. They have to know what's going on. Provide the outcome required so that they know what you're even talking about, and invite them to share their thoughts so they can be an expert as well. If you're communicating with a guardian, connect with them on a personal level. So ask for their support in regards to the conversation and thank them for their support so that they feel like they're getting thanked, because these are the ones who always do everything for everybody. Sensors, this is so fascinating, provide the required information in a logical sequence. If you bring chaos, it confuses sensors, or they have to go and organize your chaos into an organized fashion anyway. So allow them time to ask questions, be hyper detailed, and ask them if they need any more information. Really important stuff. And connectors, connect with them on a fun level. Tell them what you want, keeping it upbeat and brief. Support them or offer the support for them first as an action point if they require it. So this is just so mind-blowingly powerful, this slide here. And I really hope you can start to take some of this information in, because this is a game changer for humanity that we're talking about right here. This is us just getting out of our own selves, our own mind, our own just life, and just steamrolling through life. And whoever's in front of us just gets whatever they get. So we often talk about that, be yourself, be empowered. But actually, when you take the conversation to a higher level of consciousness, it's actually about others. We're actually on this planet with almost 8 billion other people for a reason. This journey is actually one to be shared. This journey isn't for us to be self-centered or selfish in the way that we go about everything and get everyone else to deal with that. It's actually about us to open our eyes, open our minds, open our hearts, and connect with others on this journey. So yes, to start with, please make it all about you. Please go in, please get connected. Please start there as a starting point. But once you feel like you're in alignment, once you feel like you're connected, once you feel like you're empowered, please start to lift that consciousness and make it all about others, because that is why we're here on this planet together. So this conversation here today, what a better day in relationships and communication to start to think about others in that way. And hopefully you've had a chance to do that already, but if you haven't, that's okay. This is our goals that we set this morning. This is our goals that we can still do today. So if you haven't yet, please have a go at adjusting how you communicate with one of your loved ones. And if you've done this already, what did you adjust when you communicated with one of your loved ones? And what happened? What difference, or what subtle or obvious difference did it make to your communications? How did they receive it? How did they respond? How did you feel about that? So these are just really, such powerful little tools that we can play around with here today. And before you even did that communication, what did you do to calm yourself down before communicating? So what difference did that make to you and to them? What things did you go through, all listed out in Shay, to reduce your stress levels before you communicated, so that you weren't in a fluffy, busy space that just sort of said things out as they came out? You're able to sort of stop, be present, be more mindful, and actually connect in a space that's really part of understanding before that communication then happened with anyone else out there on the call. So just want you to be really aware of the things that are out there that are happening to others in this journey right now and today, more than any other day as we're going along this beautiful journey of life together. So I want to just really thank you for being here. I want to acknowledge you all for the beautiful steps that you're taking for your own mental health journey. I want to really make sure that you can just be today, again, more than any others, just to be aware of everybody else on the journey and to really support them and in ways that they need to be supported on this beautiful day, day 7 of 10. And so without any further ado, I'm just going to introduce our beautiful and amazing guest today. You've all seen her throughout the week, Anne Larson. Anne spent the last 35 years passionately exploring the most successful ways to create change in people's lives. She's a trained psychotherapist, mental health social worker, family therapist, narrative therapist, and acceptance and commitment therapy, as well as mindfulness and healing meditations, and works collaboratively with people to develop a sense of personal agency that enables them to more fully engage with others in the environment, building a sense of self, place, purpose, belonging, and general health and well-being. Anne has provided clinical leadership to psychologists, social workers, and other mental health professionals in both individual and team settings. And Anne's here to share today with us about the knowledge about connection and the importance through an epigenetic lens in Anne's passion and current focus in the world. Today, she's sharing with us a peek into the world of behavioral intelligence, of precision health and epigenetics, and specifically how we can use this simple information to have profound impacts on each of our unique relationships. So Anne Larson, welcome to the conversation today. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for all of your beautiful meditations throughout the week. It's a pleasure to have you on stage here today. So Anne, I'm going to hand over to you for an amazing presentation, and everybody, thank you very much for dropping in with Anne right now. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you very much, Matt. Welcome. And as Matt already set a beautiful scene for when we're thinking about this intelligence, this social intelligence, and which is really a very important part of emotional intelligence. We understand ourselves, and we understand ourselves even better with this epigenetic lens, and then we can also understand others better. And we've talked about that, and I gave my talk about that. So I thought that now, in this precious time that we have together, that we'd look at some of the specifics of that, so that you can be thinking, oh, no, this person that's in my life, they seem to be like this. So actually now I understand how I'm going to speak to that person. And how amazing if you can think about, let's talk to people, let's talk to their biology, let's talk to what really makes sense for them, that they're really going to hear you, that it's really going to increase the chance that you get your message across, and you will be able to set an intention for the day through that meditation, and then see how this actually unfolds with this new knowledge of understanding exactly how will I do this with someone. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. So here we see, I've got ahead of myself. Here we see what I call the big four. These are some continuums, that this big difference. And I did discuss this. We've got some people are introverted, some people are extroverted, some people are out there, some people are not. Some people are constantly wanting to burn energy. Others don't. Others want to sit on the sofa. Some people, you notice they don't react very much, or it takes a long time to get them to react. Other people really fiery, they react a lot. And then finally, there's people who are more self-focused, whilst others are other-focused. So when we have a look at this, we think, well, how do we want to build these strong relationships? And to really be able to do that, so interesting, because often what we do, this is attributing motivation, we'll do to other people what we think we want. This is a strong part of a lot of culture. It's the do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And whilst that's a wonderful principle, what we receive as love and the way we give love is different from how other people give and receive love. So whilst we might say that we want to show other people that we care just as we would like to be cared for, how we show that to someone else will be different from how we want to receive it. So we have underlying this human nature, this commonality, where we want love, care, connection in our lives. We want to have these things called strong relationships, but how we do that is very different depending on that unique individual. So today, I just wanted to go through really what it is that each of our health types, these categories of very important genes that have come together and been influenced in a certain way by our environment, look at what difference that makes, so that when you've got someone in front of you that you can look at and think, they actually are different than me, and I can even see that physically they're different. How do we then react to that person? So it changes the way we see what that other person is doing. It changes our expectations of other people when we're expecting people to be like us and they're not. And as we do that, we end up with this beautiful harmony in our relationships and truly strong relationships. And this is why I've called this, Please Speak to My Biology. Now you do have this hack. People talk about hacks, and relationships are important, and they take some time and work, and it takes time to build some of these elements of trust and care. But how do you go about that? There are hacks for that. And to really illustrate that well, I'm just going to go to the opposite sides of the circle as we go through this, so you can see that real difference. So we have our people that we call activators, and I've left in some of the text about the way these people are. But what's really important here is that these people, from a love language point of view, words are very important. But the question is, what words? What words do they need to hear about themselves? So you have someone in front of you and they're pretty fiery, they're pretty outspoken, but you can also see that they can be quite hurt, because what happens is these people end up with an identity question of, am I good enough? And really importantly, can I just be me? If I am me, will other people still love and accept me? And often they've learned in life, no, that doesn't happen. So when you want to create a strong relationship with this person and you want to speak to their biology, then your words will be around acceptance. So they are the words and actions, of course. So this person, perhaps they've sort of flown off the handle and you really feel uncomfortable with that. You might be, if we go here, the opposite health type. If you're a diplomat who is much more stable, that can feel really uncomfortable. And of course, I really want to say this because it's your biology interacting with someone else's biology. So just whilst this activator is perhaps really being outspoken and really wanting to express themselves, the diplomat might be there saying, oh, I don't like this. I am actually quite conflict averse and you are making me very uncomfortable. Well, from these principles of consciousness, what we really hope for you is that you can start to say, right now I see what's happening for me. I want to have a strong relationship with this person. And let's just say this person is your child. So we're talking today mainly about family relationships, so intimate relationships with partner, and then also with children. These are the children that are always getting into trouble. People only like them when they're behaving themselves. They start to get this message, you need to be different. You've got to stop being so explosive. You've got to stop being active. You have to stop moving, because otherwise I won't accept you. And what they want is that acceptance. They really want to feel good. And to feel good, they want you to feel good. They want to feel good together. This is what they want. They want to be in this strong relationship, but not a strong relationship where there's not much expression. Everyone's being careful about not conflicting. They actually want you to see them and accept them. So how do you do that? Let's say if this is your child. Interestingly, people in general, not always, can find it easier not to attribute a negative motivation to their child. They still do sometimes. I certainly have heard parents say to me, they're ruining my life. They're ruining my life. Why won't they just calm down? That's the sort of thing we can hear when people have a child who is an activator. But what about with this lens, if you say, this is truly who my child is, this is their biology, and I need to think about how I show them that I accept them. And then, of course, there's another step from that, which becomes, now I get to help them navigate through life in a world that is going to see them in this certain way. And I speak about this also as a mother of 3 activator daughters who were quite boisterous in comparison to me, because I'm a diplomat. I'm one of these people who is more stable, more introverted, likes more calm time. But what we need to say to this child is, I accept you for who you are. And this goes for adults as well, of course. If we're taking this conscious position of saying, I can accept you for who you are, what happens then is you see a person who then is no longer in stress. And of course, when they're no longer in stress, they're not as reactive. When they can really be themselves, when they know they can trust you, that if they do blow or say something very brash, that you're not going to hold that against them, perhaps, for weeks, months, or the rest of their lives, if you're one of the health types that has a really good memory. So if you have these tending to be shorter, muscly, feisty people in your life, please think about, or with your partner, think about, how do I show you that I accept you just as you are? So to do that, it's quite good to move to the diplomat. We have to say, well, first of all, I'm going to have to manage what's going on within me, because you're making me feel very uncomfortable. That's what we think, isn't it? You're making me feel very uncomfortable. But of course, they're not really making you feel very uncomfortable. They are being who they are. They're being in their biology, and they are speaking and being with you from their biology. But your biology says something really different. It says, I don't like that. I'm conflict averse. This is making me feel uncertain about my future. And now I'm having all this self-doubt. Have I made the right decisions? Are we good together? Or maybe it's making you think, if you're the parent, maybe I'm not a great parent. Or if you're a diplomat and you're the child of someone who is fasting, you might be thinking, wow, I'm just never fast enough. I just never get on with it. So what do we want to do when we come to these people with the diplomats that have this self-doubt, that they really want to create a sense of safety for the future, because the uncertain future is very frightening for them. And again, if you're an activator, or perhaps even if you're a crusader, you might be saying, well, get real, diplomat. We are in an uncertain future. And this may be said by a partner to a diplomat. You need to stop worrying so much. This is just part of life. Well, it's part of a diplomat's biology to be in this place of worry and uncertainty. And then they tend to implode and have that self-doubt. And what do they need? Just as the activator needs acceptance, the diplomat needs to be listened to and acknowledged. They don't need to be just told directly by someone, you don't worry. They don't need that. They need to have someone actually hear them and acknowledge what their worries are. You don't need to find a solution for them, but you really need to be there for them. And we see here in the love language of quality time. So if we shift into the child, the diplomat child, what do they need in front of you? They need to be able to talk about their worries with you. They need to, even if you don't want to, you've got other things to do, and it's really important to build their resilience. It's really not spoiling a child who needs more time. It's not spoiling them. It's essential to them that you can sit down and listen to their concerns. Just as importantly as it is for if you have an activated child, say, yeah, okay, let's go and play out there. Let's go and do this game. Where's the ball? Let's do that. You can see we're building a strong relationship, but in very different ways. So if we go now to some other opposites on our circle, we'll just go up to the connector, closer to the activator. But we see here that it's different. These people are also, they're doing people like the activator, but they're also very feeling people. They're extroverted, they're in the current moment, but for them, and it's because of their hormonal profile, as it is with all of us, the parts of the brain that we use predominantly and our hormonal profile, that for them, they are very sensitive to oxytocin, the love and bonding hormone. This is what they're tuned into all the time. They want to know that they are loved and therefore they are lovable. This is a subtle difference. So you can say, well, everyone wants to feel loved. Yes, but in a different way. These are our beautiful, I see them as like the beautiful shining suns. They really need to have other people around them. They have to have a tribe. They need to belong in that tribe and be special and acknowledged within that tribe. So these are the people that there's no point saying to this person, if they're your partner and they're perhaps if they're distressed and you want to say, you need to go and calm down on your own. This is something that people, diplomats, censors, crusaders could say, because we do like to go off on our own. Go and manage that. I've had people say that to me. Partners say about their connector partner. They need to learn to, modify and moderate their own behavior. They need to go off and get that sort of, well, no, because that is not speaking to the biology of the connector. They need someone to do this with. If they're regulating their emotion, they need to do this with someone. That is what is essential to them. And just as with the child, the connected child, this is the person, and you can see their love language is touch, because this is the person who really wants to be hugged, paid attention to, given that, really that connection time. If you think of what creates connection, this is what they need. I am here with you. I am listening to you. I am talking to you. I'm doing this activity with you, and then they can go off feeling loved and safe in the world. And it's interesting, isn't it? You may have a child who's like that. And you may have got trained by them a little bit to be really with them a lot, doing lots of activities, chatting, being lively. And then you could have another child who's from the other side of the circle, who is a sensor. And now for this sensor, what we see is it's the opposite. It's like, I just need to close my room, and mum or dad or caregiver, whoever that is, please leave me alone for a while. And you can see, let's just say if the parent is the connector, they can feel like, oh, maybe I'm not doing a very good job. Maybe you don't love me very much, because I really want to engage with you. I want to hug you. I want to talk to you. Let's go and do this together. Everything is better together. No, not if you're a sensor. We know these people are very introverted and they will want to go off and spend time on their own. The same as if the sensor is your partner. When they withdraw, this doesn't mean I don't love you, I don't care about you. This means I need to look after myself and dial down the stimulation around me, and I need to go off. You can imagine if you're wearing your lens and you're the sort of person that wants to be in contact a lot, it feels like they don't love me. But no, this is not the correct conclusion. Well, it may be in a particular relationship, but often it will be that this person is just very different. And for them, again, it's words, but they will be very direct with you, not a well thought out direct statement, which actually could feel painful to you. It feels like, oh, well, I wouldn't say that to somebody. Why did they say that to me? Because they're a sensor, and that's how their brain works. But they need to feel very safe. So you may be the sort of person that's in the moment, and you'll just change plans readily, easily. Great. Well, this is something that can be very complex for the sensor that doesn't feel safe to them. Some reliability and consistency seems safe. So you can see here where this interaction, instead of loving and enjoying the differences in that, you can see that people can begin to make judgments about you. Oh, you're too this, you're too lively, you're a flibbity gibber, you're changing all the time. Oh, look at you, you're too conservative, you're too staid, you don't want to do enough, you want to do too much. Why do you always need people around you? Why do you always have to spend so much time on your own? So they're the judgments that come when we use comparison, and then we start to judge. We start to come to these conclusions that are really misunderstood. It's misunderstanding the human condition when you can have this amazing lens. So now if we go on to our amazing crusaders and guardians, here we see this difference as well. That here we have these people, the guardians, they're very stable. They're only okay if you're okay. They are the ultimate nurturers, and they'll give a lot before they need anything back. These are the people, you know, if I go to them, they'll spend time with me. They'll sit on the sofa, or maybe they'll just be really good at being present with you, even if you're just watching a movie, but we're parallel enjoying that, or we're playing a board game. Lovely. But for them, they're constantly giving, but they need that quality time back. And at some point, they don't need nearly as much back as they give you. They're so beautiful, but they will need some reciprocal care and nurture, but especially to be acknowledged for, and it's valued. They need to be valued for that space, for all they're giving. It's wonderful to express that. And the best way to express that to a guardian is actually spending time with them. And then we have quite the opposite to that, our dopamine driven crusaders. These are people who are constantly on mission. Their dopamine is just driving them to keep on progressing further and further. Stopping still is really hard for them. So you can see here that the guardian could be thinking, and we can see here they're not quite as not expressing emotion in the same way, although they certainly become very stressed out and do have emotions. But we can see here that whilst this person is getting on with this mission, this can be read by, say, a guardian or other people in the circle, but I want you to be here with me. And this will be in different ways. If the activator will be like, I want you to come and do stuff with me. Listen to me. Let's just this thing together. And the activator the connector may be, hang on, come here and hug me. What are you doing? You're at your computer. Come and hug me. Come and make sure you hold my hand when we go out. Or the guardian always saying, come and just sit with me quietly for a while. The diplomat, yeah, come and just be with me. We can do something together. We can plan or think, but let's do something together. And the same is for the sensor. That's great. We've been separate. We've been doing what we've been doing, but are you valuing what I'm doing as well? And people can feel like, oh, well, they don't love me. They don't love me because they're not doing that. But for this person, what they need is words, but they need to be words of respect and recognition. I see you and I see your mission. So I hope that you can see here how for all of these people, if we're simply wanting what we give to others, if I am a guardian or a diplomat saying, well, quality time shows love, I show you, why don't you do that to me? But time can be quite difficult for other people, especially for a crusader. They're not about the long time. They're about, I'm in this moment, and for the activator and the connector, I'm in this moment, I'm getting on with things. Hang on, I've got to get going. So you can see, or the crusader getting on with their mission, or even the sensor saying, I've got something important here I'm just doing. I need to do this. This is where I'm focused. Stop being in my face. So I hope that you can see from this that if we can all learn to speak to each other's biology, which is two steps. First of all, we have to understand this is my biology. Then we understand, it's a cycle. I understand my biology. Then I understand yours. Then I really see you. So that's going to influence how I mindfully communicate with you. And then we see this development of really lovely, virtuous cycles in relationships. And we can see how we can build strong relationships in that way. So that's me, Matt, unless you have a question for me around that.
Thank you so much, Anne. What an incredible, insightful communications conversation. I love everything you bring to the table here. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. I hope everybody right now has been able to delve into their app and start to understand their health type and start to use this. Today was all about challenging ourselves or setting some goals to communicate differently with others, to understand them and how they can receive things, or how they do receive things differently to us and communicate different to us. So I just love this awareness that you're bringing to us today, Anne. So thank you so much for that. And I know that you're doing a meditation for us a little bit later on as well after the workout. So thank you so much in advance for that too. Yes. Just really appreciate having you here this week. Thank you very much, Anne.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Bye, Matt.
Thank you. So we're going to switch gears now to our workout. So we have Emma Masters, who is here to take us through. She was here earlier in the week on the first day. Emma's an international fitness presenter and educator who strives to change the feeling of fitness. She's a fitness business consultant, group fitness educator, currently undertaking her most exciting project to date as she uses her wealth of experience to open her own boutique fitness studio, Therapy, in the Gold Coast in Australia. So Emma, thank you so much for being here today to take us through our workout. Emma's given us a little note to say there's some equipment in this, but if you don't have anything like that with equipment, it doesn't matter. You can do it without equipment. So I hope we can all get ready and get excited to switch gears. We are here all about mental health, relationships, communication, and today right now we're just about to go into moving our bodies for our mind and for our mental health sake. So Emma, I'll throw over to you and the crew to take us away. Here we go. Let's go.
In this booty band block, we want the booty band around the thighs, so just above the knees, remembering always to maintain that tension on the band. Let's start on the ground, on your backs. Our first exercise is our leg raise with jacks. So to prep it up, what I want you to do is lie flat on the ground, hands underneath the butt cheeks for support, raise the legs into the air, and then we're going to lower just until you feel a little tension through the abdominals, nothing more. The real tension is going to come when we jack the legs out and in, not coming all the way closed, so we can maintain that tension on the band, just like I said. Are you ready? First 30-second block coming up. Let's count it down. 5, 4, set it up. 3, 2, 1. Lower it down, find that tension, and let's pull apart. Out and in. Not closing completely, maintaining that tension on the band, feeling it in the abs as well as that booty and outer thighs. Very good. If it gets too much, you can always bend the knees just like Ellie and do it from that tabletop position. Either way, you're definitely going to be feeling the burn. And relax. Good job. Woo. All right, we're going to stay exactly as we are and find a bridge position. So the hands are going to come flat to the ground beside you. Shoulders are back and down. Heels are close to the butt. We're going to lift that hip right up into the sky. So squeeze the glutes, lift high, and we're going to maintain this pressure as we squeeze that knees out and in. Out and in. Oh, do we feel this one? Whew. That is some serious butt burn already. Squeeze those knees out, maintain that high hip position as much as you can. If you start to relax, you start to drop those hips, just remind yourself to squeeze it up as high as you can again. Good. Big squeeze out, one more, and relax. All right, we're gonna flip over onto that quadruped position. So let's take those hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. The left leg is gonna start with this one. We're gonna take it straight out to the side, straight leg if you can, and then sweep it all the way across to tap on the other side of the mat. Sweep it out, sweep it across. Sweep it out, sweep it across. Keeping that leg low to the ground. We should feel this one, yes, in the glutes, but also in those obliques, our side, our waist muscles. Good, try and keep even tension through both hands. Notice I'm not buckling through the elbows. Everything is strong in this 4 points of contact. That's now become 3 points of contact. Good, and relax. Whew, feel that one? Hell yeah. All right, jump up onto the feet. Time to burn out those quads as well as the booty. We want to take our feet into a squat position. Heels just outside the hips, toes slightly pointed out. Let's drop low into our squat. Drive those knees out and take little pulses. Oh man, this one is gonna be a killer. What do we reckon? Do we feel it already? Yep. So the main reason we do this is to feel a burnout, and it's gonna be tough. So we have to switch our mental game on. We try not to give up as soon as we feel like we want to. Instead, we try and stay in that burn just a little bit longer. Are you with us? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, good work. Whew, we didn't give up, right? Good job. All right, one more until that rest. Modified burpee. You're gonna take the hands down to the ground, jump the legs out, take a jack, jump it in, and stand it up. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, go. Hands down, jump it out, jack it out, jump it in, stand up, jack it out. Good, and again, out, in, stand, jack. Now, if you want to take a modified stepping version, I want you to stick with Ellie. If you're with me and G, keep that jumping coming for 10 more seconds. Nice work. Give me at least one more. Big jack, and recover. Woo. Good work. Heart rate's up. Let's take that minute recovery. How are we feeling? We good? Because we've got to do it all again. We're going to let those heart rates come down just a little. Time for you to towel down, grab a drink, shake off those legs, release the bands if you need to. But we're going to be putting them straight back on in just a moment, so be prepared. We ready? It's just 5 exercises. Just 5 times 30. We've got this. All right, let's get down on the ground. Oh. Let's prepare for those leg raises. Remember, if you're a little more tired through the abdominals this time, the legs might not be as low for these pull aparts, for those jacks. So if you want to take them up higher, or you want to take the option with Ellie, I really recommend it. Let's keep it safe. All right, drop low. Let's prep it up. Hands behind your butt. Knees and legs lift all the way up. We go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's lower those legs all the way down to tension, and then let's find those jacks. Remembering, really important here, maintaining that tension on the bag, not letting those legs come all the way together. Good. Squeeze the lower belly in. Check in, is that low back still connected to the floor? Yes or no? If it's a no, bring those legs higher or take the modification. If it's yes, you want more challenge, maybe 1 centimeter lower. Ew. Woo, and relax. Good job. Woo. All right, we're holding this position, ready for those bridges. So set it up, hands next to the legs this time, heels close to the butt. We're going to raise as high as we can, squeezing that butt tight. Ready? Squeeze it up. Let's squeeze it out. Out and in. Out and in. This one is a burner. If you feel it at home and you're doing this workout with us, you can yell out too. You can grit your teeth. We can hear you, I promise. Whew. Wake your neighbors up next door. That's right. Squeeze. Just a few more. And recover. Good work. Shake out that butt. All right, flip it on over to that quadruped position. This time we are sweeping our right leg. So find that connection, hand under shoulders, knees under hips, right leg extends out. We're sweeping it over the left. Good. Sweep and sweep, keeping it nice and low. Very nice. Make sure even weight distributed through the other 3 points of contact. Hands, knee, hips are square, squeezing into that oblique as we take that leg out to the side. Very nice, crew. I reckon you got one more in you. 3, 2, 1, recover. 2 exercises to go. Let's jump it up. All right, we know that we secretly love this one, right? So it's like a secret love-hate. Let's drop into that squat. Get low, get pulsing. Ready? Let's go. Drop it down. Drive the knees out. Let's squeeze out and in. Pulse up and down. Yeah. Woo. So we really want to maintain that squeeze out as well, guys. Don't let those knees buckle in. Could you get just 1 inch lower? Gee, Ellie, what do you reckon? 1 inch, they're smiling. I reckon there's some gritted teeth underneath those smiles. We can, we will, for 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Woo-hoo-hoo. Shake out those legs. 1 more, and then we're done. So take ourselves into that side position, ready for those modified burpees. Remember, you've got the stepping modification with Ellie. If not, you're gonna come with me and G, or maybe a bit quicker. Ready? Drop. Jump it out, jump it out, jump it in, up, out, in. Good, again, out. Try and maintain that beautiful plank position as you drop down. Squeezing those thighs out, maintaining that pressure on the band. Good work. Get that heart rate up as high as you can for these last 10 seconds. All the way, team. We've got this. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Yep, you did it, you did it. Well done. Hi everyone, for this booty block, we're gonna start down on the ground with our booty band around our thighs just above the knee. So let's get down to the mat. We're gonna find ourselves onto our sides. So what I want you to do is either find a position on your forearm or all the way down, you can rest your hand, your head in your hand. And then we're gonna bring our knees up to around 45 degrees from the hips. And we're gonna find our hips stacking directly on top of another. So top hip on top of bottom hip. So we're not rotating forward or back. The other hand can support near the mat. Once you've found your position, we're gonna find what's called clams. So we're driving that knee outwards and back down to the ground. It's not a huge movement. We don't wanna see overextension in the hip, just a small movement keeping those hips in place to really feel the side of our booty burning. Are we ready to get going? 30 seconds of work in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Squeeze it out and drop it down. We don't have to rush this one. We want to find the control. It's going to start burning pretty quick, and that's what we want. So keep those hips stacked. Remember, it's not a huge movement. We're not expecting big things here, but we're going to feel big amounts of burn. How we going, team behind me? Are we good? We feeling fine? I'll take that silence as they're feeling the burn, huh? 1 more. Good job. All right, we're gonna stay on our sides, working on that glute med, so the side of our butt. We're gonna find our way up slightly onto that forearm if you're not there already, and we're gonna extend the legs outwards. Still hips stacked directly on one another. We're gonna lift that leg nice and straight with the feet flexed. So lift the leg and drop it down. Lift the leg, drop it down. Woo, are we feeling that tension? Feeling the burn? It looks so cool back there, right? I can't hide it. It's burning my legs and my butt. All right, we're gonna keep pumping this out for another 15 seconds. I really want you to focus squeezing in on that booty of yours as we lift that leg up and down. Good. Just 3 more seconds. Squeeze and recover. Good work. All right, we're jumping straight up onto the feet. This one is going to raise the heart a little, and we're going to get into those quads, the front of the leg. We're going to be moving to the right first. I want you to drop into a squat position. We're going to take a shuffle to the side, or you can step it with Ellie. Let's go. Shuffle, 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 and the other way. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Good. Shuffle, 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 and switch directions. Little hops if you're with me and G. Getting low into those legs if you can. If not, nice and slow and controlled with Ellie. Good. Keeping that tension on the band, so not bringing in those legs too close. We want to take another 6 seconds. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Recover. Whew. That one kicks, huh? All right. This is a reverse lunge, alternating legs. Let's start facing this side of the room. We're going to start with that left leg, so the one that's a little closest to you. We're going to take a big backward stepping lunge, take it back to center, then switch. Let's go. Drop that back knee down if you can. If not, you can take it a little shallower if the full range isn't there for you. Either way, take a big step back, and all of a sudden, what is ordinarily quite challenging with a lunge becomes even more challenging with the band. So we want to drop that back knee straight down and up, so that front shin is as parallel as possible, keeping that spine nice and long. Good. One more, and shake it out. Whew, that one actually got the heart rate up a bit, hey? Make sure that band's still in position if it's shifted at all. All right, last one. Start at the back of your mat, get low. We're gonna take a nice big step forward, forward, back, back. Let's go. Forward, forward, back, back. Wide, forward and backward stepping. We wanna keep that tension on the band. We wanna drop into that booty. You're right there, G? Good. He's feeling it. Ellie, you feeling it? See, we can have fun and exercise. It doesn't have to be so serious. Good. Last 8 seconds, drop 1 inch lower. Oh, I'm mean, huh? I'm mean. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Doesn't even look like it's gonna hurt that much, and then it really burns. We feeling it? Yep, all right, minute recovery. Grab that drink, towel down. Release the band if you need to, but you're gonna be popping it back on because we've got to do them all again. And we're excited, right? We're excited to do it all again. We know the benefits of the booty. Peaches are growing as we speak. All right, are we ready to do it all again? Because we're starting on with those clams. This time we have to switch sides of the mat. So we're gonna come down. Let's make sure we set it up properly. So find that position on your mat, make sure your band's in place. Remember, head can come into the hand, or you can be up slightly higher on the forearm with G. Find that leg position, heels fairly close to the butt, hips at 45 degrees, top hip stacked on top of bottom hip. Are we ready? Hands placing. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Small movements. Small movements. Make sure those feet are stacked one on top of the other as well. Not crisscrossed, not anchoring off each other. We want all of the work to be coming from the glute. Good. Remember, it doesn't have to be huge. What we don't want to see is massive movements, and meaning that the hips move. We want small and contained. Good. 3, 2, 1. Whew, nice. Coming up onto the forearm if you're not there already, extending the legs, flexing the feet, rechecking the hips, placing the hand there for support. We're going to take those leg lifts. Let's get stuck in. Lift those legs, team. Up and down. Good. Bellies are on. Beautiful posture throughout. So all of that focus, all of that energy goes exactly where we want it. Hee. Oh man. Glutes of fire. 10 seconds. Stay strong for me. Give me at least one more rep. One more. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Whew. Up we get. Let's start on this side of the mat this time. Why not? for that I'm losing my words, side shuffle. Remember, get nice and low. Each side of the mat each time, or take it slow and steady with Ellie. Let's drop down, let's shuffle. 1, 2, 3, other side. Remember that leg that's coming in on the inside isn't coming all the way in, because we want to maintain that pressure on the band. I know I say it a lot, but I know you're also cheating sometimes and forgetting it. So I'm here to keep you accountable. Keep that tension tight, drop low in that squat even though it's burning, even though it hurts. It's good burn, and it's gonna get us the results we want. Yeah, good job. Woo. Ready for that lunge? Let's face this way this time. I feel like switching it up. All right, backward stepping lunge. Let's start with that right leg, chest open, get ready. Whew, let's do it. Step it back, step it to center. Step it back, step it to center. Now sometimes we can tend to fall over in lunges because we try and take our backward stepping leg directly behind us. Instead, think about walking on train tracks instead of a tightrope. Good. Oh, keep that spine nice and long. Up nice and tall through the chest. Big steps. You're so close. And relax. Good job. Woo. One more and then you get that recovery. You ready? Readjust that band if it's gone anywhere. All right, those big forward steps, nice and wide. Let's start with our left leg this time. Ready? Let's do it. Get low, get back. So it's like we're staying in that squat the entire time. Our knees do not extend. We want to stay bent. Yeah, low in that squat. If we can get any lower for this last 15 seconds, I challenge you to do it. I challenge you to get that little bit lower and find that extra bit of burn, that extra bit of discomfort. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, crew. Boom. You did it, we did it. That's your block done. In this core block, we're going to be lying on the ground. So let's get straight down there. We'll meet you on the mat. Our first exercise is some toe taps to the ground. So what we want to do is find our tabletop position. So everything is flat to the mat, low back, shoulders, hands are by your sides, legs are up at that 90-degree angle. Yeah. And from there, we're taking one leg down to the floor, starting with our red toe, and then up to tabletop again, nice and controlled. Ready for your first 30 seconds of work? Let's do it. Shoulders down, we go in 5, 4, set it up, 3, 2, 1. Right leg goes down, toe taps the floor, comes back to tabletop. Good, we really want to find control here, guys. So don't rush it, this is not a race. What we want to concentrate on is creating that connection, spine, low back, shoulders, all the way to the floor. And we don't lose that connection. It's going to be a strong focus in today's workout. Good. Tap it again, lift it up. Very nice. Keep going all the way through and recover. Nice work. All right, we're going to stay right here. And what I want you to do is just lift up from the ground, just the shoulders. And we're going to be reaching with our fingers one heel to the next, starting with that right heel. Are you ready? Let's go. Tap it and then squeeze and tap it. Chin can stay tucked toward the chest, finding that brace through the belly. We're going to feel it in our midsection of our core, but then also down our sides into our obliques. So really think about squeezing that hand downwards through the shoe so that we can find those muscles of the obliques as well. Good, keep squeezing side to side, making sure you're breathing. Very nice. Just a few more and recover. Good. All right, we're gonna stay lying down for just some normal standard crunches, but let's make sure we're doing them right. Fingertips to the temples. We don't ever want to be yanking on the muscles of our neck. So keep it light, elbows wide. We're thinking about dropping the ribs down, drawing the belly button in, and slowly finding that crunch as we look to our knees and back down. Good. So really think about connecting your ribs to your lower abs, tucking the belly button in, and keeping almost like an orange between your chin and your chest. Very nice. This way it's nice and slow, it's controlled. We don't feel any tension in the neck or shoulders. We feel it all in those abdominals. And recover. Good work. All right, we're gonna stay right here. It's almost like having a lay down on this block, right? We're gonna take our hands underneath our butt cheeks and we're gonna lift our legs to the sky. Now this one, we're gonna show you a few variations. Ellie's gonna take a single leg variation, me and G, both legs. We're gonna drop the legs toward the floor only until we feel that lower back still has connection to the ground, and then we raise it back up to the sky. We don't wanna go so far that the low back loses that connection to the floor. As soon as you feel that happen, move up an inch and make that your range of motion. Good, squeezing the belly button in. We'll feel this a little more in the lower abdominals as well. Very nice. Stay nice and smooth, consistent, and recover. We've got one more. This one's going to hit those obliques as well as we twist. So we're going to find that tabletop position again, and G's going to take a more advanced straight leg version. We're going to be windscreen wiping our legs left to right. So we're going to go to the back of the room first, all the way over, and then to center, and then all the way to the right. Good. So here you might lose connection with the low back, obviously, as we're rotating, but we want to maintain the connection of the upper back and shoulders to the ground. So we don't want to twist so far that we lose that connection. Good. All the way through to the end, and then that minute rest is waiting. We still breathing? Good. Recover. That's you. You've got a minute rest. So take a little towel down, wipe down, have a drink. How are those abs feeling, team? Feeling it? See, we don't have to make huge movements to make a really big difference. So we're gonna do that same block again with the same control and consistency. So once you've grabbed that drink, you've had that little towel down, had a little stretch if you need to, we're gonna go back down to the ground. Are you ready? Let's find the mat. Let's draw ourselves back down onto the ground. We're going to set up for those toe taps. So shoulders are down by the side of the body. Our chin is tucked. Our bellies are switched on. We lift our legs to that tabletop position. All right, are you ready to rock? Low back to the ground. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's drop that toe to the ground and lift up. Other side. Good. Now what we want to be doing is maintaining that really beautiful L shape with the legs every time we come back to center. That's your tabletop position. And then just lightly tapping that toe to the ground. If you're finding that you're already losing connection, lower back to ground, don't take your legs so low. Good. Give me one more. And 3, 2, 1, recover. Good. Staying just where you are, we're going to take those side crunches. So maintaining that same position. Remember, chin tucks. We lift, draw the ribs down to the lower belly, and we're going to reach that right hand to our right heel. Let's go. Squeeze right, squeeze left. Good. The gaze should be gently through the knees. Trying not to take any tension in the neck, in the shoulders. If you start to feel some around here, take your head all the way down and just do small movements side to regress until you feel stronger in that region and you can maintain that feeling in the belly. Nice job, guys, all the way through. Nice, Ellie. Relax. Good, coming into those crunches. Same rules apply, remember? Everything nice and strong and controlled. Fingertips to temples, elbows wide. Drawing that belly button in, sliding those ribs downwards as we crunch. Let's do it. Crunch up and down. Good. So what we really want to see here is you pulling your belly button into your spine. So we're getting the flattest tummy that we can. And then our gaze comes through the knees, making sure we maintain that orange shape between the chin and the chest. All of the pressure in the abdominals, nothing in the head or neck. So make sure you're shaking that out and give me one more rep. 3, 2, 1, and recover. Nice work. All right, we've got those leg raises. So as we're feeling a little more tired here, you might find your range isn't as big this second time through. That's okay. Remember the rule about keeping that low back into the ground. Hands under the butt, legs lifted, let's go. Remember that single leg option with Ellie is always there. If you're getting tired, if you're finding your technique isn't as strong as it was, take that regression. That's how we get stronger. Moving correctly, moving with precision, getting better and better each time we do the class. Very nice, team. Just a few more. And relax. Good job. We just got those windscreen wipers and then we're into that minute rest. So, set it up, hands by your sides, find that tabletop position. We're moving to the right side of the room first. Let's do it. Windscreen wiping over to one side, to center, and then to the other. Good. Remembering we can lose connection with the low back this time as we're rotating, but keep those shoulders, both of them, pinned down to the ground. You're doing so good, team. Keep it up. We're nearly there. Big squeeze. And recover. You did it. Nice work, friends. Big high fives all around. You get your rest.
Thank you so much, Emma and team, for an amazing workout. I hope everybody who's followed along to that has got their heart pumping right now, their body flowing, and our minds being cleared in the process. So again, thank you all for joining in. Amazing variety of speakers and sessions that we've got throughout this entire summit, all just for your benefit, to raise awareness for mental health, to help you be empowered, to help you take action to improve your mental health. And again, whether that's something for you trying to move out of a state of stress or anxiety, depression, or just open up a higher connection with your performance, with your optimization, and with living your full capacity here on the planet to be, we're here to support your journey. So thank you so much. And right now, switching gears from moving our bodies into reconnecting back in with our minds. We've already heard from Anne today with a beautiful session understanding relationships and communications just in a whole new way and a whole new level. Anne's just about to lead us into a beautiful meditation where we can just drop in right now, wherever you are in your day, just drop in, forget about the past, forget about the future, just come and be present with Anne right now and connect in this beautiful relationships meditation. So Anne, I'm going to throw back to you right now. Thank you so much again for being here, for bringing us through these conversations. And right now we're about to dive into this meditation. Thank you, Anne.
To our mindfulness meditation, as we take the opportunity to reflect on the past day or days or week or weeks or months, when we think about what was it like when we took mindfulness communication, mindfulness listening, mindfulness speech into our everyday lives, and perhaps how that may have started to influence our relationships. We'll just start by pushing our feet into the floor, taking your attention to the breath, and then if you can, close your eyes. If you can't, go about your daily task with mindfulness, but you can listen to my voice. We're just going to begin to come into our body with a short exercise called clench and release, or progressive muscle relaxation. So if you just want to start with your feet and clench your toes up, and then on the out breath, release. Up to your calves, clench, and then on the out breath, release that tension in your calves. And now up to your thighs. If you create that tension in your thighs by tensing the muscles. And then when you're ready, on the out breath, release. You may notice now that your legs are feeling a little bit lighter or a little bit heavier. It doesn't matter. Just take your attention into your body. Then bring your attention up unto your middle, to your stomach, and clench your stomach muscles. And on the out breath, release. Of course, if there's any part of your body that is in pain, don't create more tension in that place. You can just take your attention to that area and just do nothing. Simply notice that. Then if we go up to our hands and create tension through forming a fist on the in-breath, and then when you're ready on the out-breath, release that placing your hands either down by your sides or in your lap. And now we're going to create tension in your shoulders by raising your shoulders up towards your ears. And on the out breath, relax. You may notice that now your shoulders are dropping slightly lower than they were before. And we're going to create tension around our mouth by pushing your tongue up into the roof of your mouth. And then on the out breath, relax. And then up to your forehead and frown, creating tension at the top of your head, of your face. And then on your next out breath, when you're ready, release. Push your feet back into the floor and just take 3 breaths. And now I want you to create a space in your mind, that special space that we've been going to visualize how you wish to create this way of relating to others, this mindful communication, this mindful listening and mindful speech. So perhaps now you could take the time to reflect, even just on today. What did that mean to you when you reflected on and then were creating a vision of what that was like for you to be a mindful listener? How hard was that for you? Or did you find that really easy? What was it like, if you were able to practice that, what was it like talking to someone, having them speak to you and really, really listen? Really listen. Really see them. Really hear them. We think of this as active listening. I'm not jumping ahead into the future. I'm not having my own thoughts about what I think. I'm not making judgments. I'm really focusing on what this person was saying. And what were you doing to keep that focus? What did you do when those thoughts and judgments started coming up in your mind? And did you notice the difference? Perhaps you noticed that the person who was speaking with you, something about them changed as you truly listened to them, as you were really present to them. Did you feel like you connected more with them? Or did you feel like they were able to connect with you better because of that? Did you notice something about them that you hadn't known before? Did you notice that you had made some kind of assumption or you had some sort of expectation of them, but that when you went into that mindful listening space, you actually learned something new about that person? Or did you learn something new about yourself as you were able to be present in that moment? Did you notice that that other person perhaps was quite similar to you in what they were saying? Or were they very different? And whether they were similar or different, what did you think and feel in that moment? Perhaps, and perhaps particularly if they were different from you, perhaps you noticed that when they were speaking, you actually had some uncomfortable physical sensations in your body. Those physical sensations that let us know that we're having an emotional reaction, that somehow we've been triggered, that this is a cue for us that is uncomfortable. That's often why we jump in. What did you do? What did you do today when you felt that uncomfortable physical sensation arise? Were you able to sit with that mindfully? Did you just simply notice that without judgment? Oh, how interesting. I'm having this feeling about this. Or how interesting. I just could feel that twist in my gut, or I could feel my chest tighten. I felt all this tension spread around my shoulders. Sometimes people can feel like they develop a headache. What did you notice when you started to perhaps have that uncomfortable sensation? Were you able to breathe and stay open to the communication that you were in? And what about your mindful speech? What did you notice about that today? Were you able to really think about the message that you wanted to create, to put out to that person in front of you or those people? How clear was your intention? Did you set an intention? Did you really know what you wanted from this interaction? And if you did know, were you able to act and speak in such a way that really helped you, that led to that intention, that really helped you create a stronger relationship? Or did you find that really difficult? Did the uncomfortable physical sensations that may have arisen, did they have you speaking in a way that later perhaps you regretted or that you judged? But as we come into mindfulness, into the current moment without judgment, we have an opportunity to, without guilt or shame, to be able to say, what would I like next time? If something happened and that didn't strengthen my relationships, if it didn't really get me what I want, what can I do next time? And so take this opportunity now to reflect on what you learned and what you would like to do with that. How do you want to practice this mindfulness communication that's really going to help build strong relationships? Are you going to practice this tomorrow? What will you be thinking about to be able to do that? Can you set yourself some sort of reminder when you wake up in the morning that I'm going to enter into my communications today with a greater sense of mindfulness? I'm going to set an intention for what I would like from these relationships today. And as I do that and I stand away from judgment, I remember that I'm only in control or charge of myself, my own listening, my own speech, not the other person's reaction to that is not under your control. So just take 3 breaths as you are contemplating what are you taking into tomorrow with mindful communication. And now we're going to bring our attention back into the current moment. Push your feet into the ground. Notice what you can hear, what's going on around you, wherever you are in this current moment. Take a deep breath, and if you had your eyes closed, open your eyes. And remembering to bring this intention the vision of yourself as a mindful communicator, and this strong intention of how you're going to go forth when you relate to those around you.
Thank you so much, Anne, for a beautiful meditation as we do experience every day. Thank you all so much for being here today on World Mental Health Day Summit that's extended for 10 days, Day 7, Relationships and Communication. And today I just want to leave you with a beautiful message, the fact that this is not just about us on this journey. We are spending most of this 10 days together understanding about inner peace and peace of mind for ourselves. Today is actually going outside of ourselves and connecting with others, understanding others, and really just diving deep into the fact that we're all here on this journey together, and the ways that we all communicate and interact is so different, and we can actually be empowered and aware of how different that is and take steps to understand and accept each other and just reach out with those connection points to improve the lives of ourselves and others. So we are here for a conversation around mental health. We're here to flip the conversation from the negatives to the positives, for what's not possible to what's possible. We're all very, very unique on our journeys. We're far more than just our physical selves we get caught up in. Our mind that we're talking about here is a bridge between who we are in our physical self and why we're here in our spiritual self. And our mind has the power to empower us or disempower us. We've got the choice, we've got the tools, we've got the support, we've got the community to change the story for ourselves and each other. So let's just really remind ourselves who we are, why we're here. Let's keep our perspective on what truly matters. Let's remember the context of all the things that occur in our lives as their lessons and gifts to help us learn and grow on our journeys. So let's just be mindful of our perception of what's happening in the world today, aware of our world and our reality, and aware that it exists via filters of our beliefs, and many which aren't ours, and all those which we can change. And let's just really take ownership with what's happening right now. Let's take ownership of the meaning that we're assigning to people, to places, to things in our life. Let's take ownership of the awareness that we choose what we believe. We can change the story anytime we like. We can really create positive experiences and bring more joy and health and hope and happiness to ourselves and all those that cross our paths today. So it's ours to enjoy, it's ours to celebrate, it's ours to cherish, ours to share. So let's do this together. Let's all rise up and inspire ourselves and each other's on this journey of mindfulness and our beautiful mental health empowerment. So thank you all so much for being here today. Really appreciate you being on this journey, and thank you for allowing us to be part of it. And look forward to seeing you again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you, and bye for now.